She watched her family burn. They erased her name from history. Now she'll erase them from existence. But revenge has a price, and she's willing to pay it in blood. Before we begin, if you love dark fantasy stories about power, revenge, and moral complexity, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this ends. Elara survives the purge by pure accident, not courage, not strength, just luck. She crawls from the ashes into the city's underbelly. The world doesn't mourn her family. Their estate gets labeled seized for treason. Their name disappears from trade records like they never existed. She learns 3 brutal truths fast. Hunger screams louder than grief. Weakness invites predators. And being invisible? That's power. She survives by working menial jobs under fake names. She listens more than she speaks. She maps guard routes, studies merchant disputes, absorbs everything. Then comes the turning point. A man who once worked for her family sees her in the slums. Their eyes meet. He recognizes her, and he looks away. That moment changes everything. She realizes invisibility isn't just survival. It can be a weapon, a choice. By the end of her first year, something inside her shifts. She stops thinking like prey. She starts watching like a predator. She confirms her first target, a minor council member who signed the decree. He lives comfortably now, unaffected, unbothered. She tracks him for 3 weeks, learns his routines, his habits, his vulnerabilities, finds the weak seam in his perfect life. When she finally confronts him in his study, he panics. "I signed because refusal meant death," he stammers. "And I didn't think they'd actually do it. The purge, I never believed." She studies him quietly, watches him justify, rationalize, beg. Then she kills him, clean, efficient, no rage, no hesitation. Afterwards, she doesn't feel triumph. She feels clarity. She's not surviving anymore. She's executing justice, or something like it. She burns his signature copy from the decree, but keeps his wax seal, a trophy, proof of intention. The list gets shorter by 1. Elara reinvents herself completely. New name, new posture, new presence. She doesn't enter elite society as a servant this time. She becomes a trade intermediary with fabricated credentials, fake references, a constructed past, and she's convincing. That's where she meets them. A quiet records archivist, intelligent, observant, difficult to intimidate. This person will become everything. They notice inconsistencies in her story immediately, small details that don't align, but they say nothing. Instead, they offer her access to historical trade archives, information, power. For the first time since the purge, someone looks at her without fear or dismissal. It unsettles her. Meanwhile, she begins her real work. Dismantling council wealth quietly, exposing corruption, triggering financial audits, turning allies suspicious of each other. Whispers spread through the marble halls. There's someone inside. They're hunting a ghost, and the ghost is already 3 steps ahead. She escalates, but she's surgical about it. No random killings. She engineers collapses. A shipping magnate loses 3 fleets in 1 month. Pirates, storms, and sabotage. A council ally gets accused of embezzlement with perfectly planted evidence. Hid political marriages fracture under manufactured scandals. Fear spreads faster than blood ever could. Council members increase security, hire more guards, trust no one. They're hunting someone they can't see, can't identify, can't stop. Then comes the collateral damage. A merchant family unrelated to the purge gets destroyed by her manipulation. Innocent people. She knows she continues anyway, because destabilization requires sacrifice. Revolution has costs. Her love interest confronts her one night, quietly. "You're not just removing rot anymore. You're shaking the entire tree. Innocent people are falling." She meets their eyes, doesn't deny it, doesn't apologize. "The tree was already dying," she says. But that night, alone, she wonders if she's becoming what she hates. The council hires someone legendary, an assassin who survived another purge years ago. Someone who understands her. He finds her. Their fight is brutal, surgical, silent. He's faster than she expected, more precise. Mid-fight, he says something that stops her cold. You think you're avenging your family? You're not. You're becoming indispensable to chaos. He wounds her deeply, chest, side, bleeding badly. She escapes, barely, crawling through drainage tunnels, vision blurring. She doesn't go to the criminal underworld. She doesn't hide in safe houses. She goes to the archivist. She lets them see her injured, vulnerable, human. Trust, not weakness. Trust. They don't ask questions. They just help. What she doesn't know, the assassin let her escape, intentionally, because he wants to see what she becomes, whether she'll break or transcend, wounded, hidden, and forced to pause. Elara studies herself for the first time in years, and she realizes something chilling. She no longer wants revenge. Not really. She wants control. Not chaos. Control. Structure. Power that protects the powerless, not through mercy, but through order. Her love interest asks the question that changes everything. If you win, what replaces them? She answers without hesitation. Something that doesn't forget the weak. But she doesn't mean charity. She doesn't mean kindness. She means a system where people like her family can't be erased, where power has consequences, where fear flows upward, not down. She makes a decision that night. She won't just destroy the council. She'll replace the balance of power itself. This isn't revenge anymore. It's revolution, and she's ready. During a grand council celebration, she executes her masterpiece. Not a massacre. Precision strikes. 3 high-ranking conspirators die within 8 minutes, in different locations across the palace. Security systems fail simultaneously. Financial vaults get compromised. Secret documents leak to the public in real time. The city watches in shock as the untouchable become vulnerable. And then, for just 5 seconds, Elara appears on a balcony above the chaos. Visible, real, alive, then gone. Fear spreads like wildfire. The myth solidifies into legend. The council realizes the truth. She's not just surviving, she's orchestrating, and they have no idea how deep her network goes. Panic sets in. Trust collapses. The empire begins eating itself. She confronts the lead architect in the council's inner sanctum, the man who ordered her family's execution. He's calm, almost relieved. And then he tells her the truth. Your family wasn't innocent. They were planning retaliation, preparing to strike first. Power has always been a blade in motion. She listens, processes, realizes he might be right, and says, then I'll end the cycle. She kills him not in rage, but to collapse the structure permanently, deliberately. She burns the decree chamber where her family's name was erased. Symbolic correction, historical justice. But she doesn't celebrate, because she knows she's not a hero. She's a necessary monster, and the world needs both. The council fractures, no throne is claimed publicly. But things change. Trade routes stabilize mysteriously. Political purges cease. Corrupt officials disappear quietly, permanently. A whisper spreads through the streets. There's balance now. Elara operates unseen. Her love remains beside her, not as weakness, but as conscience. The only person who can say enough, and she listens, but only to them. Final image, a young servant girl is cornered by guards, about to be beaten for spilling wine. The guards suddenly retreat, terror in their eyes. Someone murmured, "She sees everything?" The girl looks around. There's no one there. But somewhere in the city, Elara watches, not as avenger, not as ruler, as necessary shadow. She loved. She lost. She controlled. She chose power consciously and became myth. That's the end of Elara's story, a tale of revenge, power, and the price of justice. What did you think? Would you make the same choices? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more dark fantasy stories like this, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you in the next story.